Not so long ago, everyday life depended on people hired to handle all sorts of small but important tasks. Delivering goods to your door, fixing broken things, or just keeping everything running smoothly. But these roles disappeared so quickly, most of us hardly noticed they were fading away. In this video, let's look back at some of the real old jobs that sound completely fake today. Knife sharpeners. Imagine a peaceful afternoon in the neighborhood, suddenly filled with the distinctive jingling of a bell. It wasn't the ice cream man, but the knife sharpener. They used to travel through neighborhoods, ringing their bell to announce their service of sharpening knives, scissors, and other tools. With their grinding wheels and precise skill, their service was indispensable. The convenience of simply buying a new knife gradually replaced the practice of repair and maintenance. Pin setters. Before automatic machines took over bowling alleys, there were hidden artisans who kept the game going. These were the pin setters, often teenagers looking for pocket money. For these kids, dodging flying pins and errant balls was the original extreme sport. Everything changed in the 1952nd when automatic pin setting machines appeared. By 1960, over 90% of commercial bowling alleys had switched to automated systems, and these pin boys disappeared almost overnight. Blacksmiths. Before the age of industrial giants, there were those who transformed raw metal into essential items. They were blacksmiths, the original iron artisans. Their forges were symphonies of progress, echoing until the 1952nd. As technology advanced rapidly, these skilled blacksmiths saw their trade shift from a daily necessity to a form of historical craftsmanship. Coal delivery driver. The rhythmic sound of coal sliding down a metal chute into a basement coal bin was once as familiar as the hum of air conditioning is today. At the heart of this forgotten heating infrastructure was the coal delivery driver. Drivers had to maneuver trucks carrying tons of coal through narrow roads, then shovel the coal into heavy canvas bags. The coal delivery man was one of the few people welcomed, despite leaving black footprints in your clean home. Riveters. Imagine vast factories during World War II, where strong and resilient women performed jobs previously reserved for men. These were riveters, responsible for joining metal parts together using hand hammers and special tools. This role was particularly prominent during World War II. As automation and robots became more common in manufacturing, the demand for manual riveters sharply declined, rendering this job obsolete. Knocker-uppers. Imagine a time when your alarm clock was a person with a stick. That was the reality for knocker-uppers. These early risers would travel through towns and neighborhoods, tapping on windows with their long poles to wake sleepers for their daily work. This profession was as important as a morning cup of coffee. But with the advent of alarm clocks, this job gradually became a thing of the past. Lectors, factory readers. In many American cigar factories, from the 1862nd to the 1932nd, workers enjoyed something extraordinary. This cultural phenomenon revolved around the factory reader, a professional reader hired collectively by factory workers. They would project their voices over the den of machinery, reading newspapers in the morning and novels in the afternoon. By the 1922nd, many factory owners began to ban readers, replacing them with radios. Typewriter repairman. As computers changed the way we work, typewriters were among the technologies that suffered the impact. Typewriter repairmen were skilled in repairing and maintaining mechanical typewriter devices. They kept typewriters running smoothly, from replacing worn-out parts to fine-tuning intricate internal mechanisms. That was until personal computers and digital word processing became widespread. Telegraphers. Before telephones appeared, the primary means of communication was via telegraph wires. Telegraphers were responsible for sending and receiving messages over telegraph wires using Morse code. They were vital messengers connecting cities and continents. But email, instant messaging, and the development of computers completely replaced their role. Switchboard operators. During this same period, switchboard operators were the human bridges of old-fashioned telecommunications. They connected calls with a dexterous interplay of plugs and cords. Unlike today's automated systems, they manipulated dozens of cords and plugs with lightning speed. However, as technology advanced, these human hubs were replaced by silent digital systems. Elevator operators. From the early 1902nd until the 1972nd, these operators skillfully controlled manual elevators with levers and wheels. The best ones made passengers feel virtually no jolt, while rookies might provide free roller coaster rides. They were the friendly guides who took passengers to their desired floors with intimate conversation. Later, fully computerized systems led these cheerful guides of the vertical journey to bow out gracefully. Milkman. Perhaps no image is as iconic of daily life, from the 1922nd to the 1972nd, as that of the milkman. Waking up early, the first sound you heard wasn't an alarm clock, but the gentle clinking of milk bottles on the doorstep. What was special about the milkman wasn't just the product, but the relationship. They knew customers by name and remembered who preferred whole milk or skim milk. By the 1972nd, home milk delivery had dropped to below 20% of households. Newsboys. Just like the milkman, the newsboy was a common sight in American neighborhoods for much of the 20th century. As dawn broke over quiet suburban streets, a small figure on a bicycle glided from house to house, tossing rolled newspapers onto doorsteps with practiced precision. This was often a young person's first job, a miniature business where they learned about profit margins and customer service. The job required developing a throwing arm that could land a newspaper on a porch from 20 feet away while riding a bike at top speed.